People who asked for a pencil every single day in school. How is life going for you? So back in grade 3 by the middle of the year, every classmate in my class of around 28 of us was asking for a pencil every other day or 3 because they would randomly go missing. Fast forward a bit and our teacher was making us do the bi-monthly desk cleaning. As we empty out our desks of books and forgotten assignments, a nearby classmate sets their pencil case on top of their desk with a large thud. Some of us look and gaze upon a pencil case like no other. Now, this pencil case was your standard 6x10-inch rectangle, but it was packed so full of pencils that it was a solid cylinder. We started making a scene and the teacher came over to see what was amiss. What followed was the emptying of the pencil case in which the whole class rediscovered their pencils from the past few months. Fucking Michael, hoarding everyone's pencils. I knew a guy in high school that would say, "Oh, there's my pencil," anytime he'd see a pencil that someone didn't actively have next to them. Then he'd put it in his pencil case and go on with his life. Very few people caught on because he was just so casual about it. I'd ask to borrow a pencil almost any time I saw him do it and he'd just as casually take one out, hand it to me and say, "Don't forget to give it back." I never did. We both knew what the other was up to, but we found it funny to play along. We became best friends and cycled across Canada for charity together a few years ago. It's been several years since high school, so I'd mostly forgotten about it until this post. We actually have a couple random things we do. One day grade 12 we were walking from the school to his house and in a park we saw a broken telescope. I naturally picked it up and brought it back to his house where I left it. A week later it shows up on my doorstep with an envelope. He used some really fancy old-timey language that basically said, "Please accept this humble gift." So we started exchanging it back and forth every so often, leaving a note. We even agreed in our letters never to talk about the telescope in front of each other. We also use pen names for it. One day he actually gave it to me all wrapped up for a celebration for me and said, "Please give this to." Everyone else was very confused and asked what was in it, but neither of us broke. It's been a while since we'd exchanged it. The problem is that because we leave it at the front door it can be hours before it's discovered, so there's the worry that there might be thieves or something. It could just be that my friend is playing the long game. Since there's no way to ask, I just have to assume that he's still got it and is biding his time. You could totally ask him. All you would have to do is practice calligraphy for a month and then write out on fancy paper. My good sir. I apologize for the gap in correspondence. This affliction has thrown my life much askew, as I am sure you have experienced as well. I know this is quite forward of me, but I was wondering if I could impose on you for a favor. I was hoping to view the heavenly conjunctions and was wondering if I could borrow the ocular artifice for that occasion, if it would not be too much trouble. I know how dear it is to you, indeed, to us both, and will treat it with customary care and reverence. If this is agreeable to you, please deliver the device to the customary location. With greatest respect. Since you gave me gold, I'll share another thing we do. A few years back I was working doing shipping for an engraving company. I came across a name I really liked. I don't want to share it here, but it was 2 words. Both started with M and were 3 syllables. The name just flowed so beautifully that I told my friend about it. A bit later I came across the town Bella Bella, which is an island in BC. One thing led to another and we decided to write poems about it. We had our old high school English teacher, a former art professor, and my friend's sister who was working on her MLIS at the time judge our poems. I ended up having a shot glass engraved with Bella Bella Best, and the loser bought the winner a shot. By that I mean, I bought my friend a drink. We're going into our 3rd year of this poetry competition. Last year was Zenobia. He won again. Still trying to figure out what noun to write our poems about this year. We're going to have to do it virtually this year, unfortunately. Also, to be clear, we don't write about the actual person/place, we just take the name and write about whatever we think of. We purposefully choose stuff we have no connection to. There is always that one guy. One of my friend brought dildo to the class and hid it under the desk of a girl. Our teacher used to inspect the desk every day and she was caught. Man, she cried so loud. Luckily there was a CCTV camera which proved her innocent. Fucking Jamie, stealing sister's dildo and bringing it to class. I loved drawing and had one of those things with all kinds of pencils. It never turned into a cylinder, but I'd rent out pencils for 50 cents so I could get shock tarts or cookies during a bathroom break. I would barter with the shock tarts to get other stuff, turning 2 quarters into a bag of quarter-shaped things. Kids would give me $1 for half a bag of shock tarts. I let my money make money for me. This moment of reflection may be the most I've ever understood that saying. Seems like a totally different life. My cargo pocket was always jingling with all my quarters. I would have put money on my younger self to be successful. Damn. I just realized that I wish I was more like my 5th grade self, and this is pretty sad. Where did everything go wrong? Where are my quarters? Haha. So, my best friend did this. We are both adults with jobs now. I asked him the other day if he remembers a pen, and he said his co-workers had gotten together to give him a humongous pen stand stuffed with pens to stop him from asking. I had a friend in high school that could never remember or keep a lighter. For Christmas one year we got her dozens of lighters. A cigar box cartoonishly overflowing with them. She ran out in early March or so. I was that kid. I had friends tell me, "My dad says I can't lend you a pen ever again." Teachers would sometimes out me to the class for being irresponsible. None of it worked. I was dumb and not wired for planning ahead. I also used to carry my books, jacket, lunchbox, and backpack, separately, in a rush to the car/bus/next period. Now I'm a trial attorney and fortunate to be busy, but man, that was a long road. I fear my future kids.